Hello and welcome to Dad's Our Job podcast, the original footballing podcast for dads by dads. This is your hosts. I'm getting this right the first time. Your hosts, Adam, Rob, and Hal. Guys, how are we getting on? We all good?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. All good. Knackered from this week, but getting there. You know what it's like.
Yeah,
hanging in there.
Yeah, mate. I've been busy. I am still doubling up on the work because Kelly is still sofa bound. So it's been a busy couple of weeks, but I'm holding on. I feel like there's light at the end of the tunnel, so it's coming. I don't know. Every time I feel like I get close to the light, I feel like it's like, you know, like when you're in like horror movies and the tunnel just all of a sudden gets longer. And so I feel like it's there.
You're like a fly going to the zapper. So like your inevitable death is coming.
It's as it's told. He's made his camera go black and white. What's going on there?
It's my camera.
No.
You're
so pale, mate. You've got monochrome.
It's falling out. What's going on there?
I don't know what's going on. I have to fix this. This is ridiculous.
I tell you what, when Kel goes back to work, Rob, she could pay for your implants in your hair.
Get your plugs. Talking of plugs, this video is in association with Footy Scran. Go follow the guys over at Twitter at Footy Scran. Great account. They reposted my pie and mash tweet the other day, which caused a stir. £22 for 2 pie, 1 mash, and a pint of beer. And that did not go down well. Working class food at a working class football club did not go down well.
But did it go down well?
It went down well. It was nice. It was for me. It was worth the £22. I haven't had pie and mash for years, so but yeah, it was good. But
privately, you said that you had food poisoning.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But as everyone's aware, this is a very, very special episode because today we have an incredible guest. He's waiting for us in the green room. He's a former Premier League winger, not a winner, a winger.
Oh, he's in his kitchen.
In his kitchen. England international, ex-West Ham, ex-Wolves, ex-Gillingham, ex-Norwich, ex-Woking. It is the one, the only, Matt Jarvis. Matt, how are we getting on, mate? We all good?
Good evening. Yes, I had to change rooms because the other one was awful. So that's why I've moved. I'm in the kitchen now.
How's things been?
Yeah, good. It's been busy. I've been enjoying it. I've been here, there, and everywhere the last few days. But no, it's been good. I was up Gillingham at the club today. I was at the London Stadium last night. Where was I the day before? I don't know. It's all going into one now, but all good fun. I'm enjoying every moment of it, really, to be honest. It's nice to get out of the house as well. I think the missus wants me out of the house as well. So that's always good.
Well, she's seen you decorating, mate, so I'm not surprised.
yeah. I mean, you're lucky you saw it. That's why I've moved rooms.
Saw the polyfiller. We thought, you need to leave. Mate.
Not good.
Excellent. So let's start. Let's get cracking. So let's talk about your early footballing history then. So, Matt, what was the first that you got into in football? What's the first thing that made you get into football as a kid?
Oh, first thing. I'm the younger. I've got an older brother who's nearly 3 years older than me. So, you know what it's like if you're the second sibling. You do what the other one's doing anyway. So he was playing football. I loved it as a kid. So I used to join in everything, go and watch him and join in, sat on the side. Whatever was going on, I would get involved. But it was, it's one of them that I suppose, little background info. So both my parents were sports people. They were both England #1 table tennis players. My mum won the European mixed doubles with a guy called Desmond Douglas, which it blows my mind now because looking back then, you think, how did they play table tennis back then? It must have been, it's ridiculous. But anyway, so they sort of knew, not that they never pushed me into table tennis, but they knew sort of the sport, the mindset, I think, and the way. So my upbringing was very much like I knew what was going on and how to get there, really, I suppose, unconsciously knowing that So that was my upbringing. That was me drilled early days, just going out and playing football locally, and then joining a local team, and then joining another local team, and then another local team, and getting picked up that way.
Because you was born in Middlesbrough, is that right?
This is correct, but I was 2 weeks old when I moved down to Guildford. So my mum's from down south, and my dad's born and bred Middlesbrough. So he always reminds me that I was born in Middlesbrough, but I always say that I was then 2 weeks old when I moved down to Guildford. So my mum won. They moved down, and so I've been Guildford, grew up in Guildford.
Can I just jump in really quickly? It's a bit random, but do you have other family in Essex by any chance?
No.
Yeah. All right, okay. I just jumping in randomly because I was a teacher in Essex, and I taught like this whole like cohort of Jarvises, and I was like, "What is going?" And then so I was just wondering if it was like a group of you.
Matt, I told you this was going to go all over the gaff, mate.
Yeah.
I told you don't know what you're in for.
I'm just wondering, you know.
Very true.
Yeah, by the way.
Oh, mate, the script's out the picture already. Here we go.
He's going to say his old man sold your mum ping pong balls down in Guildford. Yeah?
That's right. Don't worry, mate. He's
If
going to say we're related.
it wasn't for my old man, right?
Rob's been to Middlesbrough once.
He's more than me.
Got it, Cal.
Oh, Matt. So, was there any time, I suppose, when playing football, or maybe a coach or another player, where you sort of realised, oh, this is for me. This is my sport. Was there a time or moment when that appeared to you?
I think once I started playing locally, I started at one team called Guildford City, and then I went to Meadow Sports, and then once I was at these teams, we started having a good team, and we started playing well and winning a few things, and I went to another team called Epsom Eagles, and pretty much there, I would say 80% of the lads then started going to academies, and I think at the time, you just get a feel for whether you're one of the better players or not, and going into the academies. And at that age, I think I was 9, 10. I think that's just it's a buzz at that age to be going to an academy. And I think I wouldn't necessarily say one coach, but I actually loved it. I loved the training. I mean, I had to travel. I was at Millwall at the time, which is interesting because obviously I played for West Ham. So all for the West Ham fans, it's all right. It worked out in the end because I did get released by Millwall at 16. So it's all good. But I think at that point you just love it. I had to travel. My mum and dad had to travel after school every Tuesday and Thursday from Guildford up to I don't know where it was. It's up. I had to go past Elephant and Castle, and it was an awful journey up to. I can't remember. I'm trying to think where it's gone. It's gone from my mind. Where it was, Southwark Park maybe, and just that. But I didn't think anything of it. I absolutely loved it, and I think I wouldn't necessarily say a member of staff or a player or something. I just really enjoyed that part. It's only when you get a little bit older, I think like the 15, 16 years old, when I was trying to get the contract, I think that's when it comes a bit more real and a bit more, not job-like, but a bit more like it's so intense. You don't really realise, even nowadays, it happens really intense when they're like 10, 11, 12. But it didn't feel like that to me until a little bit older, and then it really is. You can feel it. You can feel that pressure. You can feel just the whole environment. It changes, and I think that's where I lost a lot of confidence in myself, I suppose, in that period. But then getting released, and then there was a scout called Bernie Dillon at Gills who picked me up and tried and got me down there, which took a bit of time. But I'd say that's where after getting offered that contract, that's where it was like a light bulb and a switch of mentality for me, going there to Gills and being released at 16, told you're not good enough, to then playing in the first team at 17 in the Championship was a big turnaround for me.
It's interesting because was there actually any support during that time other than obviously the scout coming in and signing you for Gills, I suppose there's difference between now to then. You had no support at all. Or is it just family support that you had?
Yeah, nothing, just family. And to be honest, I vividly remember being after the game on a weekend. Me and my dad went into the change rooms. There was the coaches there. I mean, short version, it was like no, yes, no, no, and I got released, and it killed me. Like really killed me. Being 16, been there for 7 years, being told you're not good enough is, not ideal. So even the dual scout was outside the door and it was like, we got a game tomorrow. I was like, nope. And I remember being in the car with my mum, dad driving home going, I just want to play with my mates. I don't want to do it anymore. And luckily for me, the scout kept on calling me, and I said, no. And it was about just over 2 weeks before I actually then went on trial. And I think I needed a little bit of time to understand and to be angry and be upset and be disappointed before I turned it round. But I was still, to be honest, I was still rubbish on trial. But they must have seen something. And then it was just like a light bulb moment for me.
We've heard this kind of story before where youth team players have been released and there's been no kind of support for them, kind of in terms of where they might go next, or the mental support that goes with rejection and that kind of thing, because it can be hard and it can be morally demoralizing and all those types of things as well. Would you say that's the same today? Do you think that kind of thing is improved, or do you think young players are still experiencing that kind of thing when their time comes?
I would say it's improved because there's lots more options and there's lots more people around that in that space. But it's still there for sure. Like players are still getting released, and it's as much as everyone wants to play football, everyone wants to do it. There's so many good players, and all clubs get it wrong sometimes, but it's just based on opinion. It's someone's opinion of something, and that's it. You've got to have a lot of luck as well to get in somewhere, and someone likes you to be able to get yourself in the door. That's the biggest thing. So yes, I think it has improved with regards to. I think Crystal Palace do it really well. They've got like this system in place now for release players, but it's once you're out of the club, a lot of the time it's the other clubs are trying to agents now, and trying to get into clubs that way. But there's so many kids that are in that position. It's extremely difficult. It's extremely hard, and as you say, on their mental side as well, it's all about that age group around the 16. They're trying to do exams, they're trying to do this, and then they're trying to get YTS or youth team contracts, and there's a lot that's going on in that age group. And a lot of kids, like, they develop at different stages: heights, weights, physicality, technique. They all develop at different stages, so it's a difficult time. And I as much as I absolutely loved it, and I wouldn't want to change anything about my whole journey because it made me who I am, do I want my son to go through it? Not really. Not really.
I mean, Matt, like, obviously we have a lot of dads listen, and some of our dads, I know that their kids are in the position that you were in. That sort of, are they get a scholar or not, or they're coming up to that point. Have you got any advice that you would give? Obviously, I know you said that you had your family, and obviously I know your mum and dad came from a sporting background. So obviously, I suppose that challenge, or that the maybe not winning, or not about getting back on the saddle, I suppose, is that mentality that you mentioned is probably there. But is there any advice that you maybe give a dad that's or a mum that's in that position with their son, of what they might be able to do just in the support way?
Yeah, look, I mean, I've got two sort of angles on this, because I can say what I went through, and then I've got a 9-year-old son who's actually already been through this himself. He was at Chelsea at 6 and he got they just sort of said at 7.5 no, and it absolutely killed him. And it's awful to see. But I was like, I speak to lots of other people, and I'm like, I've got two sides of me. Like, no, I can really help him, and I want to do this and I want to do that. And it'll be the same for everyone else. They want to do everything. But then it's actually up to the person. It's up to the kid. They've got to have, that stupid saying about you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. It is that. You've just got to be supportive, and I'm trying to do that with myself because I find it hard. I try and coach him, I try and help him, and actually it's got to be up to them to actually want to go and do it, because otherwise I've seen so many players that they get drilled for like that coaching and do this and do that and get it, and then by the time they get to 18, 19, they've fallen out of love with the game and they don't want to do it, and that's not what you want. It's such a hard position to be. I don't have a magic wand and tell you exactly what to do, because every person is different. Everyone reacts different to disappointment and success. So it's really hard. I think as a parent, all you can do is just back whatever the person, their son or daughter, is going through, just to back them, whatever they want to do. Sometimes when you need to just, I suppose, push a little bit, and other times when you just got to let them go through the disappointment and the hard times, because it's only going to help them at some point in the future, not the immediate, because that's the massive disappointment. But I as I say, I wouldn't want to have changed the way that it happened, because I think it massively helped me as a person and as a player. Getting released at 16, I think it gave me a new sort of lease of life and a new sort of purpose to go and prove people wrong and work even harder. So they do say everything happens for a reason, and that I think was my turning point.
It's quite nice because we see those types of stories quite a lot, but not in terms of regularity. Lots of players are doing it, but you see those stories quite a lot, and they're players that you look at and you think, wow, they've done so incredibly well. So you look at like what Jamie Vardy did through his career, but then you also look from an Arsenal fan perspective, you look at what Eze's done, but then also Ian Wright came to the top of football quite late on in his career as well. And so those stories are like, they're almost more special in a way, because you can see the person's journey from having to really rebuild everything, their own sense of self, but then they're also having to go through and grind to get to where they were always meant to be.
I bet you didn't send out a cheeky little tweet though, did you? And go, let's see what you missed out, mate. Gillingham signed me. Hey.
So, I mean, if you've thought of Millwall back in them days, no chance I did that.
You wouldn't be here now.
They'd still be singing songs, wouldn't they? Can you imagine it?
They're taking credit for releasing you. But so you're quite fortunate enough to be one of those lucky professionals that have made it. I mean, you had big spells at Wolves, West Ham, Norwich, and of course you got that England cap as well. I mean, that must be the pinnacle of your career. But looking back, what other than that England cap, what's the moment that stands out for you as a professional footballer?
God, there's so many. I mean, obviously, when I had 18, 19 years as a career, like there's so many ups and downs in there. It's everyone thinks it's the glitz and the glamour, and there's so many highs. There's not. There's more lows than there is highs, unless you've had an unbelievable career. But there's a few really big moments that stand out. Obviously, making my debut, 17 in the Championship, was phenomenal. First goal always stands out as well. Funny enough, it was against Wolves, which Gills won 1-0. So that was a huge win for Gills and for me. The season at Wolves, getting promoted to the Premier League, winning the Championship, is a massive part of my fond memories, especially at Wolves. And then West Ham, being able to go there, club record signing was huge for me. Just on a personal level, I didn't pick it, but just to be able to be in that position, saying that, there was a lot of pressure. That comes with a lot of pressure. But phenomenal, scoring away at Spurs in the cup. And winning there I can live off that for a long time.
You can repeat that if you like. You can say that again if you want.
Yeah.
We're happy to hear that one as well.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, honestly, scoring against anyone, but scoring against Spurs, White Hart Lane, and winning was, I've been been able to use that for many years since I've retired.
And just to say, Matty, that was a few days after my birthday, that game, and it was the best birthday present I got. When you hit that ball and it hit the roof of the net, I was jumping for joy, especially against the old enemy in Spurs. But
phenomenal.
that was a great Matty Jarvis moment for me. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. No, I mean, I enjoyed it as much as you. Don't you worry. But then even like going to Norwich was going on loan there, and my debut scoring. I mean, if you see the picture of it, you can just see the emotion and the relief and everything in my face, and that was a huge moment for me because I'd made the decision to go on loan because I didn't play as much the season before. And I couldn't handle not, training a week and not being able to play on the weekend. So I made that decision to go. And I think proving people wrong again, I think that came out in everything that happened that day. Obviously, it was after that was a bit more of a struggle. But that's a big moment for me. And then actually getting back and playing after all of my injuries, that's something just for a personal moment for myself, just because it was an incredibly difficult time.
Yeah. You played against.
Matt,
you played
can I
with.
say something? Hold on, Matt. You should be a politician, mate. You've done so well. You've literally pleased every single fan base you played for. Fantastic. You've done very well.
Well, I haven't mentioned Woking yet, so I will do that in a minute.
Quick, get him in.
Well, no, that was for me. Again, debut coming on the last 30 minutes. I scored with my second touch, got an assist. So I played 30 minutes, got a goal and an assist. I was like, this is going to be great. And then I came on the second game. The last 30 minutes, got another assist. I was thinking, I played 60 minutes here, 1 goal, 2 assists. This is going to be like great. And then what happened? COVID. That was it. Game over. Wasn't quite the same the following season, but loved it. That was just pure joy of being able to be back home playing, enjoying myself, just for actual my own reasons, not financially, let me tell you, but just actually the joy of being fit and able to play. That was my enjoyment factor at Woking.
So you've pleased all the teams you played for, and you slagged off Spurs. That sounds like a great sort of 5 minute round.
I'm not being funny. We could end the podcast there.
I'll see you later.
And a little bit at Millwall in the passing. So let's go damn well. Cal, your question now, mate.
So you played against some incredible opponents. Who do you reckon throughout your whole career was your toughest that you come up against?
Toughest. I mean, it's hard to sort of. I will just go with fullbacks, just because obviously we'll be here all night chatting away about all the other positions on the pitch. But as a fullback, I mean, I've played like Zabaleta when he first come to City was incredible. Ivanovic at Chelsea was ridiculously difficult. I played against Gary Neville more towards the end. I did all of that. Glenn Johnson, difficult. Who else was there? Kyle Walker.
Emmanuel Aboué, pretty tough customer. Was.
I think I played Sanya when he was at.
That's tough.
And again, he was different. But I say all of this, and I only ever played right wing probably 3 or 4 times in my career, and it was every single time. All the times really for me were when we played Chelsea, and I played up against Ashley Cole. And I say this, he's the best fullback that's ever played in the Premier League, in my opinion. And I had to chase him up and down every single minute of the game. He's got so much energy, so much stamina. He's strong. He's quick. Chelsea always had the ball, so he was constantly bombing forward. Just really difficult to play against. So, in my opinion, that is an easy answer. And it was Ashley Cole.
He was one of the only players who I ever saw that really, really rattled Ronaldo. And I can still remember when he was saying to him, I think Ronaldo had been subbed or sent off, and Ashley Cole was pointing at his pocket and saying, I've had you in my pocket the whole game. And he was like the only player who I ever really remembered doing that to him. And Ronaldo was like hitting like pomp then. He was like, must have been in his like final year at United, and he was incredible, you know. And Ashley Cole just absolutely just dismantled him.
Matt, can I also just add to that as well? I know you said that the toughest player you've ever played. Who have you, when you've been on the pitch, you've gone, I'm so honoured, or like, maybe not honoured, but I'm like, I can't believe I shared a pitch with this bloke.
Honestly, there's loads. My sort of idol growing up was, you know, being a winger. Obviously, living in Guildford, was a Man United fan growing up. Obviously, with all the other United fans from Surrey. Was Ryan Giggs. So I played against him loads of times, and just to be able to be on the pitch with him was awesome. But then you like Eden Hazard when he was at Chelsea was ridiculous. Yeah, Rooney. I could go through so many, but just sort of, I suppose people that I sort of tried to play or was on the same sort of position as them, because otherwise, you know, it's really hard. You could name every single player that's been in the Premier League. Really, they're so good. But yeah, Eden Hazard was ridiculous. Just the way he dropped his shoulder and you could just spin and turn on a sixpence was a joy to be on the same pitch as. I missed Ronaldo by he left for Real Madrid the season Wolves got promoted, so I was gutted.
Yeah,
but honestly, any of them players, I could say it was a pleasure to be on the same pitch as them. I mean, Robinho was at Man City the first season we got promoted. I mean, that was like being in the tunnel, and I think it was quite early on in the season, so it was like the first few games. I was being away at Man City and sort of lining up in the tunnel like, it's Robinho. what is he doing here? Crazy.
You didn't try and swap shirts at half time with him, though, did you?
nah.
Do you know what? I was that guy that I never swapped shirts. I found it so awful going up to people and asking. So all the shirts that I've actually got are either players that I've played with at clubs, and when I played against them, got their shirts because it's a lot easier to do that. Or if actually someone's asked me. But the kit men at the clubs I was at didn't like that, because then I would have to pay for a new shirt. So they didn't like it. Or I didn't like it. I don't know which way you wanted to spin that.
Excellent. I mean, let's say, go and dumb it down a little bit now. In terms of like injuries and pressure are huge parts of the game. I mean, how did you handle it mentally and physically?
It's extremely difficult. I think there's so many ways to attack this. I think if like James Maddison, I played with Madders when he was at Norwich and when he was younger years, just getting on. Like now he's got a YouTube channel, and he's had an ACL and he's out, and I haven't seen much of it at all. But I think if you could actually get what the player goes through and what they're actually, you can see them not just when they're having a laugh and running around and playing football, the struggles of not being able to walk, drive, lift anything. Not like legs are like you got a granny leg because you've literally lost all your muscle. Then you've got to build it up. You're doing the monotonous of being in the gym, doing loading and watching everyone else train, and you're inside. And the other side of the game that you don't see, I think people and fans will actually relate to a little bit more and understand what you're going through, because social media is a wonderful and a horrible thing at the same time. You look at all of these players that are playing in the Premier League, everyone, if they're injured, everyone's hammering them because they're injured and injury prone, and what are they doing? They're getting paid all this money and they can't even play. And everyone's everyone can have their opinion, but if you actually see what they're going through, and mentally, for me, I speak for myself. When I was at Norwich, I went through hell and back. It was awful. I got told by a specialist to retire. It's the best they could done with my ankle. Norwich offered me a year's pay up to go to get rid of me. I said no. I wanted to stay and try and get myself fit. I lived away from home for 2 years. My wife and I decided that we just had my son, who was my firstborn. Just had my son, so she moved back home to have a bit more support. So I was literally injured, in pain every day, couldn't walk. and lived on my own up in Norwich 6 out of 7 days. Really, she would come up and back as often as she could, and I would come back, and it was a massive struggle. No one's really seeing that side of the game. I was out for 2.5 years. Awful, absolutely awful. And I think if I look back now, because you never really look back while you're in it, I think if someone had told me what I would have to go through, if I did that, I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to go for it. But because you go through one, I had one operation, got myself back. So you go through the whole of the rehab, everything. It took 3.5 months to get back. So you go through the whole mental of having the operation, going through the crutches, the walking, then the recovery, then the loading, then getting out on the pitch. And then I got back into training, and then I got smashed in training my first session and done my ankle. And then I sort of tried to struggle through knowing that I'd done something, and then have injections to get through this and get through that. And then having to go through it all again, and then getting back fit, and then picking up something else, and then IT band, friction syndrome, then having another op, and then picking up groins and quads and all sorts of things trying to get back. You're constantly striving for the next thing, and it's mentally soul destroying when it happens. So, as much as the glitz is amazing, the downers are awful, and players don't want to be injured. I think it's a lot of people think they do, but they don't. It's horrible. It is really awful. So when you're on a long-term injury, you've got to have a good support system around you. I was lucky, family, friends, and I suppose, if I'm honest, there was 2 players that were injured at the same time as me on long-term injuries, which massively helped me, and hopefully it helped them as well get through it, because we had a guy called Louis Thompson who re-ruptured his Achilles, so he had 2 Achilles ruptures, and then Carlton Morris was as well. He had done his ACL, so he was out for a long time. And there's days where you really didn't want to do anything, didn't want to go in and do that extra bike session or do that gym session, but they would be in a better place that day and they would drag you through it. And then others, they had a setback out on the grass and come back in, and you'd pick them up and, no, come on, let's go and do it and get through this. And that's how you get through it. So yeah, if there's anything I can say about that, is that it is really difficult, but I understand people's perception of it, because you're still getting paid and you're doing this, but the stuff that you don't see is the struggle and I was in pain every single day. I couldn't walk properly. It was awful, like literally crying on my sofa. It was that bad. So the struggle is real sometimes.
Yeah, 100%.
Can I just why? Because you mentioned it as well. During that time, you said that obviously you became a dad for the first time with your son. Yeah, and obviously you're going through that hell, and you're going through obviously everything that you just mentioned. Do you feel like your son coming at that time, what sort of impact did that have on you in your recovery, or mentally? Was it a positive thing? Was it a distraction? How did that sort of impact you as well?
Yeah, I think it was all of the above. A massive thing of emotion, and luckily we I say luckily, it sounds awful, but we'd when he was due was in and around international break. So because you don't get any time off, so we planned and we booked in to go in, and he was born on international break, so I had 2 days off to be there at the birth, and then I was back up in Norwich, and my wife had an emergency C-section, so she couldn't drive, so there was a lot going on there, but it was amazing to have that sort of something completely different to what I was going through. But at the same time, I was in a knee brace at the time. It was awful. And I did miss. There's a lot of sacrifice, and it was our own decision. So no one's gonna feel sorry for me, but it was our own decision for her to stay down and me to try and concentrate, because it is a distraction sometimes, because you do things that you probably shouldn't do, because you're like looking after the kid, and you have to do this, you've got to get that bottle, and you're on crutches, and you think, well, I I need to get the bottle because he's crying, so you've got to run or walk, and you're not supposed to. So yes, it's a little bit of a distraction, but at the same time, I was more selfish because I needed to try and get fit, and I think that was like it's hard to miss out on a lot of things when he was really young, but that's the things that you sort of sacrifice to try and get yourself fit and try and get back on the pitch. But at the same time, I did see lots of different things, and it is a massive distraction as well, because I remember one day I went to see the specialist about my ankle, and we'd booked, because I was supposed to have that weekend off, so we'd booked to go just to a place locally, just to stay in a hotel and just sort of be as a family. And then I went down to London to see the specialist, and he basically said that's the best it's going to be, so you should probably retire. And they gave me about 3 days off, and I spent it just away with my missus and my son, and it was a big distraction, but it was sort of like I don't really know how to take this trip. So yeah, it's always amazing to have kids. I don't wish that I had them earlier, because I was solely focused on football, and I don't think me and my wife were ready. Well, I wasn't, maybe she was, but I also would have loved for them to have been able to see me play in my prime, and been able to do that, because they've seen me. I've played in a few charity games and done that, and they know what I've done. But at the same time, there's nothing like being able to take them out on the pitch with you and do all of that. It's quite cool.
Yeah, I mean, your missus, you must owe your missus big time. She's just had a C-section.
Don't tell her
Can't
that.
carry anything
Honestly.
for 6 weeks. And there's you with your little knee, your little crutches.
Honestly, you sound exactly like her. And then unfortunately I had 3 more operations after that as well.
Oh, bloody hell, did you? 3 more operations after that?
I had four operations in 3 years.
Gosh, she had a whole baby come out of her.
Books.
A whole baby come out of her. She'll be covered in 6 weeks, and there's you 2.5 years later.
I know. Honestly, awful, mate. It's terrible. I don't think she's forgiven me yet. Oh, dear.
Oh,
Not
God.
Good.
Sorry, I had to do it. I apologise. I told you it's going to go south.
Yeah, no, it's fine. She's upstairs. She's not listening.
Can I jump in with the next question? Is that all right? It's still centered around like being a parent and footballing and playing football, or being in the football world. And you already kind of spoke about it a little bit, but the demands of football is so big. And like, what was the dad guilt like? Like the guilt of wanting to be present, not always being able to be present, maybe showing up for a couple of hours. And I'm not just talking about the time in Norwich. I'm talking about just in general, the being present, and then there's being actively present, and then there's being passively present. What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, I think selfishly myself, that's why I wanted to wait a little bit longer. I was 30 when I had my first, which is actually normally quite late, but in football terms, early, but in football terms, it's quite late. Everyone has them young, like 20, 21, 22.
Yeah,
I didn't necessarily want to have kids that young, because I wanted to be selfish and focus on football. And then obviously in my own experience, it's difficult, because luckily, that he was very small, and I was unable to I wouldn't have been able to run around in the garden with him. But then once he's got to that age, I've been able to do all of that. And then same with my daughter. She was born in COVID, the week before COVID, so I was around 24/7 for her, which is a little bit of a guilt with regards to my son. But
I see that.
I play in the garden all the time, and do all sorts of football, cricket, golf, swimming, all sorts of things to do that side. And there's guilt everywhere, because if you do one thing, you got to do the other, but then you can't be at everything. You miss birthdays, Christmases, everything. and they just, unfortunately, they sort of get used to it, which is awful. And it doesn't get any better, because now I'm finished and I'm still working, doing different things. I'm missing Christmas productions, and I can get to lots of other stuff, but it's like, why are you not coming? You're like, it is, but everyone does it. It's not just me. I'm sure you're the same. You can't miss it. You can't be at everything. So it is just life. But as far as in football, I think that side of things is sometimes it's quite nice. You come back if you're playing and you're fit and healthy. It's great because you come back from training. You're able to join in, do whatever they're doing at the same time. Not necessarily if you've got kids that need to want to go outside and run around and play football, because you're probably shattered and you don't really fancy doing that. But you're still there and present. But you do miss a lot because you're always away. You're always traveling. You're always like, weekends you're playing. So you're not really able to do anything with them on the Saturday. You might get Sunday, but then even if you've been told you've got Sunday off, you might perform badly on a Saturday as a team and lose, and then say, no, you're in tomorrow, and there's nothing you can do about it. And then you miss another day that you've probably planned with your family to go somewhere. So there's always that side of things. But we've got a plaque up on the side that says, we interrupt this marriage for the football season. And it's that's unfortunately life if you're in that industry. It has its pluses and it has its minuses. You've just got to try and keep that steady road and enjoy it, because it goes really quickly.
Yeah, thanks.
So what do your kids think about your footballing career then? Like, have you showed them any clips? Have you got your England cap out?
God, I try and show them every day. No, I don't. I think more my son, because he was mad into football as a kid, loved it, and he still is a little bit, but he is still into it. But I think he finds it hard with. If I'm being brutally honest, I think he does find it hard because he knows what I've done, and I think he feels the pressure, even though I don't feel like I ever give that pressure to him, and I try my best to be as positive and as helpful, but I know he feels it, and I know he doesn't particularly enjoy it sometimes. So I don't really know how to address that and how to attack it with him, because I ask him when he plays. I say, like, what would you like me to do? Would you like me to shout and scream, being positive with you and do that, or would you like me to not say anything, or would you like me to be there or not be there? And he sort of sometimes just goes, just don't say anything. And I'm like, oh yeah, that hurts. I just want to help, so I understand he's got to do his own thing, and I don't want him to feel like he has to do it because of me. If he wants to do it, I'll help him. If he doesn't, then fine. It's up to him. Even though I know I know he can do it. That's the worst thing about it. I'm like, come on, let me help you. But,
you know what you want to do? You want to just leave little pictures of you with Ronaldo just on the table and go, why is Ronaldo
honestly,
with you? And it's just like
yeah. I know there's a few things that does that. Yeah, there's a few things I do, and him and his mates are in the back of my car. I was taking them to a football match, like just their game, and it was around. I can't remember exactly when it was around, but they were asking to put all of the football songs on in the car, so I had them all on, and one of the England ones came on, and they were all singing it, and then one of his mates in the back he goes, "Oh, you played for England, didn't you?" And I was like, "I did, yeah." And then my son next to me went, "Yeah, but only once." I was like, "All right, how many games have you played, you little bugger?"
So, out of interest, have you got your legacy number yet from the FA?
No, I haven't been given it yet. I think someone did tell me my number, but I haven't got the cap yet. I've got my original cap with my shirt, signed by all the lads, and Asmo Jean's shirt, who scored in the game. I've got mine and his, and I've actually still got the boots with the grass on that I didn't wear after that game. I've still got them, just for myself, really. Just cool little mementos. But yeah, I do try and I do every now and again, like something pop up, and there's on this day 10 years ago I scored, and then I'll show my son. I'll show my daughter as well, but she's 5. She's not really that interested at the moment. And I'll show her and I'll go, oh yeah, see, I was pretty good, you know. And he's like, oh yeah, all right.
So do you know your number then? Do you know what your legacy number is?
I can't remember what it is. I'm sure I wrote it down at some point, but no, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a great addition from the FA. I must admit, them doing that, because
it's really cool.
It's only you of a number of people that would be able to have that recognition to play for your country. So, like, full credit to you.
You know what? It was funny. Well, exactly. But when after that sort of thing with my son, I think that a couple of months later, we all sat down at breakfast and we were talking about it, and it must have come up on the radio about how many people have actually played for England. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Let's we've got an Alexa, and let's ask. I was like, oh, so how many people have played for England? And then I was like, right, so how many people how many like men are in the world in England? And then I went through all of this, and I was like, so that's like 0.0001. I was like, that's pretty good, isn't it, Leo? And he was like, okay, yeah, that was good.
It's pretty good maths as well.
I asked Alexa, that was fine.
Matt,
mine's gone off now.
can I ask you a few little banter questions?
Go for it.
Yeah. So I've got so obviously you played with a lot of players, right? Is there any player that you would not let babysit your children just because the house will get burnt down or they smash the house up? Who would you not? I don't think
there's probably only a couple of players that I would name that I would let babysit. Actually,
really?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, that's easy.
I don't think I'd let many. Well, that I would let babysit.
Yeah, go on.
I would let one of my good mates, Dave Edwards. I would let Jordan Rhodes, one of the nicest guys in football. I'd let him. Now you put me on the spot. I'm trying to think. Oh God, I know there's quite a few of the ex-players that, not my teammates, but ex-players that I know reasonably well. They're all dads at the school, so I'd probably let them babysit as their mates. They're mates with my son's and daughter's kids.
What about is there any manager that you've played under that you would love to coach or manage your son now? Like you'd go, oh, if they had the chance, or they were still around or still coaching, or that you'd go, I'd love him to coach my son.
I mean, the manager that I not like, that I liked the most was Mick McCarthy. So I think he would be great. I think he has that more of a no nonsense like style, but he was very, very honest, and I think he lets you know what was good, what was bad, what was indifferent, and what you need to improve and what you did well. And I know he comes across in the media and they don't really know quite how to take him, but as a person and as a player that played under him, it was really good. Even like, just give you a little snippet of when I first signed at Wolves. I actually was injured. I missed the first 3 months. I got injured in pre-season, and I just signed there. I didn't really know any of the lads, so I was desperate to impress, desperate for the fans to see me and show what I can do. And I was injured for the first 3 months, and I was gutted. And Mick came over and spoke to me and was like, "Look, I know what you're going through. When I signed at Celtic, I missed the first 4 months. I know what I know what it's like, but all I need you to do is, like, don't worry about anything else. Just focus on getting yourself fit. Once you're fit and you're then fully fit and you're ready to go, then you can then start worrying about it and just going out and prove what you're worth. And I know what you're about. I know that's why I've signed you." And it just gave me a massive sort of, I was so like just desperate to get back fit, and I would have done anything to play. And he just gave me that little bit of reassurance to be like, "No, don't worry about it. There's no date that we've fixed, to when you're back. You get yourself fit, and when you're fit, then you'll be flying." And that was just a nice little starting point from a manager. So yeah, I always say Mick. He's a great manager.
Sounds like good man manager by the sounds of it. just pulling you aside and having that conversation. That's I think yeah. Who would you like your son or daughter in the future to play like? If you could, I suppose you might have already answered this one, but if they could play it like anyone, who would you have them like play like?
Oh, it's a difficult question. Who would I like them to play like? I don't know. If I take my son for an example, he started off being more like I would have said more like a winger, and now he's got dropped into maybe a midfield sort of wide, and then for his school he plays centre half. So I don't know if I really thought centre half, but I don't know. I think he's more like, if I was going to say, I think at the moment he's technically quite good. So good passer, knows to read the game like a Rodri. I would say that sort of. I'm not saying he's a Rodri, by the way. You just asked me the question about who I would like. If that was, I would say.
I was going to send Mertesacker down there, mate.
Yeah. I mean, for his age, he's big. I mean, at least he looks like me. Otherwise, I'll be asking questions because I was small. I was small as a kid. He's big. So he looks like me. So we're all right.
Brilliant.
Oh, mate. Have I got any more? Oh, I've got one, but I've got a couple more. But I think I might know the answer to this one as well. I've got two more. Any team you wouldn't let your son or daughter sign for? Go on, make everyone happy. Make everyone happy.
No. Genuinely honest, I wouldn't. No, the thing is, you can't pick it. You can't.
No,
you're. It's not your choice. You've got to have whoever's at that club to want to sign you. That it's. You've got to. That's out of your control.
Matt,
I wouldn't stop them.
Come on, Matt. We know it's Tottenham. Come on.
We know it's Tottenham. We know it's Tottenham, mate.
just do a safe bet, Matt, and say
I'm just saying this.
town.
I know, but look, the thing is, I know because give it 20 years, and if anything does happen and either of them do play, then I know that I'm going to get pulled up.
It's going to get paid back.
Yeah.
Also, we're going to talk about what you're doing now as well. So Tottenham might be looking and going, "Oh, well, we ain't getting him in now."
Well, exactly that.
I'll tell you what, though, it wouldn't surprise me if your son did sign for Tottenham because they've been snapping up a lot of ex-pros' sons. I think Matthew Upson's son is playing for Spurs at the minute, and him being an ex-Gooner and an ex-Hammer, he's allowed his son to play for Spurs, and apparently he's really good.
Adam, I've got to stop you. What you don't realise is Arsene Wenger's magic. Yeah, so what he's going to do is he's going to let him sign for Tottenham. I see. And then it's going to be the old Sol Campbell thing, and he's going to get signed by Arsenal. Wenger's working, mate. Wenger's working.
And then it'll be, and Wenger's done it again. Arsene Wenger's done it again, isn't it?
Let it all work out.
Brilliant.
Let it all work out.
Yeah.
Matt, you see what I've got to live up to. Like being a West Ham fan, I've got to compete with two Arsenal fans on a daily basis. Like it's hard, but I always remember that we're more successful in Europe.
I scored a header at the Emirates, and that doesn't happen often. So I just put that one out there.
Yeah, but wasn't that to get Tottenham out the top 6 or something like that? Didn't Arsenal let you do that? I'm sure there's some history in that.
To be honest, I really don't care.
For the record, I think we lost that game 3-1, Matt. But
I know.
We'll brush it on the side.
Bring that bit up.
Listen, don't worry. I'm just jealous that you played at the Emirates.
The game that we won. Don't worry. I was involved in the game that we did win the opening game at the Emirates. So I can at least say that once.
Yeah,
that's
going to go down in history.
I think we should move on, actually.
Go on.
Well, talking of transitioning out of the professional game now. Obviously, you spoke about your injuries and COVID putting an end to your career. But other than that, when did you realise it's time for me to hang my boots up and look to the next part of my professional life, really?
Yeah, well, I actually signed the following year at Woking, so I played that season where there was no fans. There was you got no fans. There was that season. So at the end of that season, it sort of not fizzled out. I think at Woking we were in the semi-final. And we were going to play at Wembley in the cup, and we lost the semi-final. And then I actually got furloughed. So it was sort of coming to an end, and I think I was 35. I just had my birthday. I was 35, and I was like, I just think that was the right time. I would genuinely, if I could and my body would allow it, I'd play now. But I just think it took its toll on me, really. I was doing it purely and simply because I wanted to, and I just think that it just in general with everything, body, family, being able to actually move when I've finished playing was high up on that agenda as well. We joked, me and my wife, about, we agreed that once I'd finished and all of that she would be pushing me around in a wheelchair, and actually I think it's probably going to come to fruition not too long. So I think we made the right call that 35. I retired on my birthday and was like, yeah, that is the right time. And it's never an easy decision. It's really difficult to actually make that decision, because that there's no coming back. There's not like, that's it, and that there's nothing that compares to being out on that pitch and having that excitement, the feel of the crowd, the being able to, for me personally, to have the ball, take players on, getting that rush of an assist or a goal. There's nothing that can compare to it. So it's a really difficult decision, and you miss everything. Well, I do. I know, like a lot of players you ask now that are retired, do they miss it? They say no, not at all. But I do. I miss everything about it. I miss the training. I miss the the extras, the competing, the banter, the traveling, everything. Match day. There's nothing that I don't miss. Even pre-season. I know everyone's like, oh, you can't. I loved it. So yeah, it's a hard one to transition out of, and I'm getting more into not that way, but I don't think there's enough that gets done or said about the transition in football. Players that are coming out of it, it's ridiculously difficult unless you've got something that you just go straight into, and you've sort of managed to sort yourself out and do that. You've been drilled. It's like, to a certain degree, I'm not putting the same amount of emphasis, but it's like being in the military. You've come out, you've been drilled, you've been told what to do, where to be, what to eat, what to drink, what time to be in, when your days off are, everything for 20 years. And then suddenly you've got nothing. You've got no schedule, no purpose, nothing, no structure in your day. And it's a big gap to fill.
Yeah. When you said the word retire, this may sound like a really stupid question, but do you get footballers' pensions?
So yes.
Oh,
I
okay.
was actually the last. I was actually the last year in the youth team. The last year that you could get a pension that actually you could take at 35. After my year, it's now like a normal pension.
Oh wow!
But I was the last year that you could actually, I could actually get it at 35. But it's. In the nicest possible way. I think that pension was for the people that were earning that could make the most of that. But yes, you do get a pension.
All right, interesting. I weren't being nosy. I was just curious because, like, obviously,
it's a good question. I would never even thought of that.
Because obviously, when you're not working, you're retired effectively. But it's like, well, how do you live for the rest of your life without having to work? But obviously, you've got PR stuff, you've got media work and stuff like that. And this leads on to Cal's question next. So, but yeah, it's just interesting to see how footballers, if they never ever worked again, could they be financially sustainable?
Do you know what? I'll answer very quickly on that. So I do some bits for a company called LAPS, Life After Professional Sport, and they go into academies and under 18s and 21s, and you put on like some showpiece and like some workshops. And honestly, the first slide after introduction is like after the first year after you retire, I think it's like 35% of players are divorced. And then the one under that, it's about 30% of players bankrupt in 5 years of retiring, and that is an awful stat, because and I can see why, to be honest. Even just like with the divorce, you know, that's everyone when I go into the academies, they go, oh, it's the wife. You're like, well, let's just, you know, hold it a little bit, because for me, I lived away from home 6 out of 7 days, and then I moved back in, and then it was COVID, so I was in the house 24/7, and that's a massive shift of, you know, being, you know, my wife being on her own for a lot of the time, me being on my own, and then you come back and you're there 24/7. It's a different dynamic, so you have to sort of get back into that routine, so that, you know, people can not get back into that routine, and you can see why that happens. Obviously financial reasons as well, but the bankruptcy thing is awful to see, because you know, you're not getting paid, and then you're still got direct debits, mortgages, cars, all of this sort of stuff, and yeah, you've got to try and be sensible when you're playing. You obviously enjoy the bits that you can, but yeah, it's you know, managing your career where you're getting paid a decent amount to being able to use that for the rest of your life, hopefully. Difficult.
Yeah, or set you up in business, I suppose, or what you're doing next.
Exactly that.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I know you sort of semi-touched on it there, but what else are you up to? Obviously now in your second life, basically, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I was going to say, we're not allowed to say retired now. You've got to say, you know, transitioned, and you've stopped playing, and now I'm in this new phase of life. Yeah, so I'm doing lots of different things. Yeah, I'm doing lots of different things. I do the media and the punditry and the co-commentary, you know, which is, I love it. I really enjoy that side of it. Yeah, if I can't play, there's nothing better than talking about it and being involved in it. So I really enjoy that. I'm an ambassador at West Ham, so I'm there pretty much every home game. I do all of the corporate stuff, and you know, went to Kansas City for the Premier League Mornings Live events, and do all of pre-game events. They do some really cool stuff. I mentor the Wolves Academy players, which is really cool, because it's that transition from academy to hopefully for transitioning to first team, and obviously the struggles of, you know, moving into digs, and, you know, maybe moving clubs at that age, and, you know, the whole development of being in a youth team to try and transition. So yeah, that's really cool. I advise a sports psychology app called Unlock, which I think is massively important nowadays, to help with, you know, your mindset, to go and transition from training to match day, to getting your structures, your habits, and getting that side of things. And there's loads of different modules and programs for like injuries and performance and mindset. So I've been advising them for about 2 years now, which is great. What else am I doing? I'm a director in a golf events company, which is awesome, because that's something that I really enjoy as well, called Heritage and Apex. And then I did the CEO of a sports organisation course, which I finished last January. So potentially looking to try and get into the other side of the game as well. And yeah, doing keynote speaking and all of that. So yeah, trying to keep busy, as well as having 2 kids and doing school drops and all the blooming outdoor activities that they do. So yeah, trying to keep busy.
I mean, what's quite good about all of that as well is that it's not just you're not just doing things that will kind of like satisfy your own drives within football. You're also doing things to help shape people as they come through and they're beginning their own journeys. And it's quite good that you're able to get both, because I think I read something on, I can't remember where I read it, but the mental health of footballers after they retire is shocking, and that is part of what fuels the divorces and the bankruptcies and everything, because they haven't got anything else to do, so they spend, or they lock down, and they kind of reject everyone around them who's trying to support them and all those kind of things. So it's quite good that you're kind of being able to do the best of both. You're getting to stay within the game and to do the day-to-day stuff that might give you all the banter and the interactions with football people, but then you're also helping prepare people who are beginning their football journeys as well. So that it must bring great satisfaction, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, 100%. I think, I really enjoy the mentoring because I felt like I got that when I was a youngster at Gillingham. The older pros in there looked after me, and I felt like as I got through my career, I then started to help the younger kids that were coming through and getting into the first team. And I did a lot of that when I was at Norwich because I had a really young team, and I still speak to them boys now every now and again to catch up with them, see how they're doing. And I think it's really important because if I had the knowledge of what I have now when I was first starting out, it's a huge help just in anything because you know what they're going through. You've been through it yourself. So if you can help someone else, through that, and if that you can see the benefits. I did do my coaching badges. I had my own football academy for 3 years, but I think I would have been a frustrated player rather than a coach. I think if I went straight into it, because I would have just been like, I should have just played and carried on rather than just been like trying to help someone else. But never say never, but I really enjoy doing the stuff that I am doing rather than the day-to-day coaching at the moment.
Fair enough. And thank you for like kind of bringing that all back around. I suppose I'm going to take us into like the final part before we
Hold on, Rob. Rob, can I just ask a question?
Yeah, go on.
Matt, what's your handicap?
So I always start with this. I was one of them stupid footballers that actually never played golf while I played football. And now I'm wishing, why did I not play golf while I played football? So I've been trying to play catch up for the last 3 years, and I'm still I'm about 14.8 at the minute. But I genuinely don't play that often. So I'm trying to play a bit more, especially with the golf.
You showed us your driving range
business.
Go in the back garden.
I wish,
yeah.
That's how far it would go. Not straight either.
Mate, listen, that all sounds really impressive to me because the only golf I can play is pub golf. So you got a clue what
getting better. I'm getting better.
Okay.
It takes time. I keep saying I need to play more. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's it. Not with all those football projects, though, mate. I'll take us to the final part. Talking about just to kind of come back to the whole dad's our job and football and parenthood and things like that. What has been the best lesson that you've taken from football that you've applied to parenthood?
I don't know. I love structure and routine. I'm a little bit like drilled. I'm more of the drill sergeant in the house than my wife, and I think that's maybe helped me with regards to routine, especially when they were young. I was quite good at making sure that this time and that time, and then it's this, and then it goes into that, and then it's bedtime, and then that's it. So I think that helped me in that side of things. God, I don't know if anything helps you after that. That's all down to how you want to be or how you try to be as a parent. But I'm still working on that. It's not easy either way.
No, we all are.
I don't think anyone can get that perfect. But
structure goes
you
a long
try.
way, though. Structure goes a long way.
I love structure. Yeah. I think they need it as well. When they're out of routine and out of I'm not as militant as I'm making out, but I do quite like it.
Well, I'm not surprised.
I think they like the boundaries as well.
You just said your son was taller than you.
It won't be long, I tell you that. It won't be long. He's only 9. Not even banter. I kept quite a few of my boots because I had his name on a couple of my boots because he was born first, and I had a few of my others. But I'm only a size 7. He's nearly a 5 already, and he's 9. So he's going to be in and out of mine in no time.
Size 7. Yeah, my son's 12 and he's going to catch up. My son's 12 and he's definitely going to catch up. He's massively.
He's already stronger than you.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
That's where I'm going to start struggling because then he's going to then start having to try and wrestle, and then that's not. I don't like losing. So I'll have to get back in the gym. I'll have to get back
I thought
to
you
the
would.
gym.
I thought you would have been used to it being a West Ham player, and I'm a West Ham fan saying that.
Hey, we finished 10th. We're all right.
Oh, the dizzy heights! Imagine what it was. Imagine we could finish that way this season. So
fingers crossed.
let's hope so. Let's hope so. Right, so we're going to ask for some dad to dad advice. So if you could give one piece of advice to brand new dad listening right now, what would it be?
Yeah, I'll get you sleeping.
You're in Norwich.
Dad advice. Yeah. Oh yeah. Touche.
Get a pair of crutches so you can't do nothing.
No, exactly. I genuinely enjoy it because everyone's. I think once you've had your first, when you're on to your second, I think you're so much more relaxed, and I think that makes a massive difference. Because you're always like, oh, don't do that, or don't touch that, and don't do that. I think with a second, you're like, they'll be all right. They can eat that mud. It's fine. It won't kill them. Yeah, you're just a lot more relaxed. So I would just try and say and enjoy it, and don't, that's a different style. But you're always going to be like that with your first because they're so precious. It's the first thing. It's like, they can't do that. They can't. But I think you just try and relax a little bit into it, and don't do everything that everyone else is telling you to do. Do your own thing. Make sure you're happy with what you're doing. Doesn't matter about anyone else.
Yeah. Is there, so as you've just said, don't listen to anyone else. Is there anything that you wish someone had told you before you become a dad?
Don't listen to anyone else.
No. To be fair, like my wife was very organised. She was a primary school teacher, so she was like, she'd read all her books. We'd had what we were going to do. We had our plan and our structure, as I like. I didn't necessarily read all the books. She would maybe read them and I would listen a little bit. But I think we sort of knew how we wanted to do things. And I've got an older brother who had kids, so you see what goes on and how things are. I think once you sort of have an idea of what you want to do, I think you've got to roll with that and whatever works for you. But I always take on advice, and I like to know. And people, if they want to tell you, you can take it or leave it. But it's quite nice to have a little snippets and use something from someone and then use something from someone else. But it's got to work for you as a family because everybody's different. Everyone likes doing their own thing. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it's saying in terms of that advice. I'm looking at schools at the minute for my little one. And one of the head teachers, that's a big step for next year. Like, she starts school next year. One of the head teachers was like, we don't encourage our kids to say sorry. We make them do something as if it makes them think about them being apologetic. So I thought, that's a good idea. I'll take that on board. So when my daughter done something, I went, no, you don't say sorry. I went, you draw mummy a picture. So she drew Kerry, my wife, in a picture, and it's the most funniest picture I've ever seen in my life. It's like, you made her look like Medusa, like all snakes coming out of her head and everything. I'm like, yeah, that's not the apology I was looking for, darling, but that's fine.
To be fair, I used that with my daughter. I think last night I was like, actually, I don't want you to say sorry. I just don't want you to do it. Stop saying sorry. Just don't do it in the first place.
I say the same to my son, actually. I say to him, I don't want words, Danny. I want actions. I want actions. Show me you're sorry. Don't tell me you're sorry.
You said he's 12, right? I'm coming for you for advice to be like, does it get easier with the boys? I think it's like banging my head against a brick wall all the time.
I to be fair, over the last sort of month or two, I have really, and maybe it's because we're both more ready for it, but the power of like real conversations has really changed everything. Like real conversations, not just like we're having conversations about this or what we're watching or whatever, but like real conversations about real things and things that are going to happen in 5 years' time, and why being ready now is so important. So like, I've really found the power of conversations. So let me know how it goes.
We're
Rob's
on a
gonna
middle
kill
ground
me.
of watching pole to pole with Steve Backshaw. That's where we are at the minute.
I mean, not being funny, Rob, I think you've come a long way since Danny's had that conversation with you.
Excellent.
I must admit, Rob, you're going to kill me with what I'm about to say now, but I was walking, we're all neighbours, right? So we was walking my dog past his house, and in his front room, he's got the biggest 50-inch TV, so he can play your PlayStation, right? So I've walked past, and I'm walking past Buddy. I'm like, what the hell's that through the window? His boy has got his TikTok linked to his TV screen. There's all these sexy women dancing. You can just see him doom scrolling all the way through. I said to him, Rob,
it was whose TikTok did you say?
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, mate, you all right? He went, no, what's up? He goes, I'm not being a grass, but your boy's watching like these birds dancing on your massive screen. Like, get some curtains or something. He's like, oh, mate. It's just like, he just seeing like go inside himself. Man.
He was on a TV ban after that. So
Rob's airline's got even further back.
started reading the Bible.
How long were you at the window watching?
To be fair, it was a good half hour before I messaged. I've got a basset hand, so he doesn't walk. He sniffs.
Why did you skip that one?
Like her, she's really good. That one. Oh yeah, no, it's funny. It's funny.
Thanks for bringing that up. Cheers, mate.
That's right, mate. Well, let's say that you're coming into that teenage period now, where it's like they're not that young, innocent child anymore. They're almost like a mini adult, aren't they? And they're starting to feel different things. So, yeah, it's
scary, man.
You seem like it actually feels like it might be okay for the son, but if it was your daughter, then it's completely off. No, that's a no.
Yeah,
I'm having we've put. There's a great app, by the way. If we're here, while we're here, we'll talk about it. There's a great app. Custodio, I think it's called Custodio, right? Where like you can like put keywords on your phone, right? That is linked to their phone. That if they search it, it immediately blocks the phone, right? I think it's called Custodio, right?
Is that what Kelly's done for you?
Enough of this Declan Rice talk. Yeah. I'm banning it.
We're gonna have to finish up because my screen time for the day is nearly finished.
So,
brilliant!
I can't.
Appreciate that.
Well,
Thank you.
whilst we're being in a light-hearted mood, we're going to finish up with this final segment. So this is in association with Footy Scran, and this has been brought up because let's talk about that home kit promo with you in a cereal bowl. Now, please explain why a cereal bowl was your first prop choice for a West Ham kit.
Honestly, right, I have been royally screwed over here. So every single player in that squad, it was the new kit launch. Every single player got the message to say, in the morning, put your kit on and take a photo with your breakfast. Like that was the thing. And then we were going to do a post of a launch, and I was the only one to do it. Only one. And everyone was like, what was in the bowl? There was nothing in the bowl. There was absolutely nothing in the bowl. Matt, it was just a prop to do it.
Matt, no one else got that text message, mate.
Honestly. It's shocking, absolutely shocking. I've had so many messages. I've had one guy's messaged me pretty much every year with a picture of it. It's crazy. Just like, why did I do that? I look back and think, why did I do that? It's ridiculous.
I'm really surprised you ain't got to deal with Kellogg's right now, mate. To be fair,
well, I should have actually put the Kellogg's in the bowl. Really, that would have been the one. Oh, shocking! Absolutely shocking.
Should we do the footy scan?
Shall I just quickly say it? What I actually should have done, if we're talking about footy scran, what I actually had for about 15 years as my pre-match was a piece of toast with peanut butter on, with scrambled egg on top. How about that?
Wow.
Peanut butter with
I get that
scrambled egg.
reaction a lot.
Was that nice?
Peanut butter
Was it
on
nice
toast
or
with
was
scrambled
was
egg.
it for nutritious?
Beautiful,
Oh, really?
beautiful. You got the of the peanut butter, and then with the egg it was perfect. And everyone says, "Oh, that's awful. You can't do that." Try it.
Did you
Try
have
it and see
ketchup
what
on
you
it?
think. No chance. No.
But to be fair, like if
I-
it's pancakes, it's only scrambled egg with no flour, right? Look at it that way. So you're replacing the flour, or you're removing the flour. If you have pancakes with peanut butter on it, different is
Well,
it?
give it a go. Tell me what you think.
I will.
We'll do it. Like, all of us have got to do it, and then next week we've got to say what we think about it.
Yeah,
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, please do.
I'll tell you
I'll
what,
do that.
you can be like our Paul Hollywood. We'll all show you how we did it. Like we'll show you our pictures and whatever. And you can give us some feedback on our bake.
Then you can see
Absolutely.
us scraping it into the food bin immediately afterwards.
Was it smooth? Was it smooth peanut butter or crunchy?
I actually didn't mind whatever one was. So obviously, if we were away, it was all dependent on what the hotel had. So yeah, needs must. I'd probably go for a smooth, but you want crunchy.
Cal, your reaction just then, it was like, yeah, actually, smooth or chunky, I don't mind. But a minute ago, you was like, just so disgusted, and now it's like, actually, come back to the idea.
I can see it. 'Cause you've got the egg is obviously the protein. You got the peanut butter that's got like the sugar and like that's the energy, isn't it? And I can.
A bit of carbohydrate for slow release,
Yeah, I mean, I might have ketchup.
Perfect pre-match meal.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. I'm sure that will go lovely with your peanut butter.
Oh, man.
Like, so it'd be good.
What was it we saw? Go on, Cal. Go on. You go.
Is it my question? Is it?
Yeah. Go on, mate. Go on.
Okay. So, right, what's the best scram that you've ever had at a football stadium as a player and or a fan?
Oh my word! As a player, I mean, it's all we have our own chef that comes with the team, so it's all stuff from the club. So it's not necessarily at a stadium. I mean, Domino's would probably be my best say because sometimes you get Domino's if you're on an away trip. But we wouldn't actually eat anything at the stadium. It would all be made by the chef to take on the bus, or if it was the club leave you and it's just Domino's, I would say would be the only thing that they would have. So yeah, I can't really answer that first one. But as a fan, I've been fortunate enough to go to a couple of games. I went to the England game in the Royal Box. So
wow,
that scram was pretty impressive.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I don't do that very often, by the way. That was a one-off. But
I'll sweep you to the other side then.
Otherwise, a pucker pie.
It's pucker pie.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll sweep you to the other side then. What is the worst food you've ever seen at a stadium, and why is it Tottenham?
I mean, again, I'll try and make something up for you here. No, I never had any food at White Hart Lane. Obviously, never been in there as a fan.
Not even lasagna.
And player was different. No, yeah, exactly that. That was with our chef. That
Arsene Wenger's magic again.
Yeah. But I have actually been to the new stadium, and unfortunately, it's unbelievable. Really impressive. It is great. So the food there, I can't remember what I had. I was actually working. It was New Year's Eve last year. Last year was it the year before? I was working at the game, and I had to sort of keep my head down and go through all of the bits to go through. I thought I can't be spotted here if someone sees me. I'm literally in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I could be lynched here. So I didn't eat. I had something in the media room and then got myself out as quickly as possible without being spotted.
I don't blame you. It would be awful for your reputation to be caught there, mate, wouldn't it? It's not the type of thing you can come back from. Well, you've been very diplomatic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't ruin that.
I've got another one for you. What is your go-to scram? So, like, if you wanted a treat For me, I absolutely love ice cream. I love ice cream. I could eat ice cream 6-7 times a day.
Cal,
What's yours?
Sorry, Matt, before you answer it, Cal, tell Matt your your ice cream story about when your mum went to Australia, just quickly.
Oh God! Right, so my mum went away to right. So my mum went away to Australia for 2 weeks, right? Yeah. So like, Dad was looking after us, and basically, cooking went out the window after I think maybe the second day or whatever it was. It was just like all takeaways and stuff like that. But ultimately, I was banging out bowls of ice cream. It was ridiculous. Yeah, every day. And when we went and met my mum at the airport, right? So obviously, Mum's comes out the departure bit, and we're like, "Hi, Mum." When Mum saw me, she started crying and was like, "Dad, Bob, what have you done to him?" Because I put so much weight on. I literally put like 1.5 stone on. Matt, it was shocking. Like literally, my mum cried in the airport, going, "What have you done to him?"
2 weeks. What an unbelievable!
Oh, mate,
incredible.
Bad. It was bad. That's not
brilliant.
You know, I've got a bit of a situation with food, but it's not a counselling session, I suppose. That unless you want to stay on afterwards, Matt, and we'll have a chat. But
yeah. Oh dear. Okay, well, I'll say so. One thing, like I think I ate too much of it as a kid, like chocolate. I'm not really interested in chocolate anymore. I could give or take it. I'm not really that fussed. And like, there's loads of other things that I enjoy, but the one thing that I really like, and I've got a proper sweet tooth, is sweets. And that would be like Haribo, Tang Fastics, or Mao-Ams, or and that was me. I absolutely love it. So I find it. I used to have in my old house. My wife made me like this. I had a pick and mix stand. And it was a disaster because I knew they were in the house and I could just go and get them. And I had to be like, no, I can't have it anymore. Because I was buying the big tubs online, the big tubs. And I was just going down there, I'd get my own bag. I'd go down and help myself. And I'd be like, I'm doing this every day. I need to stop this. I had to like put a stop to it. Awful. But I do love sweets.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for sweets also. I like wine gums and licorices, man. Licorice all sorts. Oh, I'm in big trouble. Go for every single one. Go for it. So I can relate.
Not good.
Yeah. As it's a counselling session, you're going to share what your thing is, mate? Or?
As you can tell, I'm a very experienced eater, so I'll let you guys carry on. So it's absolutely fine. I mean, to be fair, I'm still a bit baffled by the scrambled egg and peanut butter thing, and I'm one.
I know it's rocked you, isn't it? It's rocked.
I'm gonna have it tomorrow.
Have it tonight. Here we are. Have it as a midnight snack. There you go.
I want to sleep, mate.
Rob will be on TikTok, mate, on his 52-inch TV.
Someone's going to go for a dog walk tonight.
Where's me lead? I'll just go for a walk with the lead and no dog. No. I'll be just eager to get to Rob's house.
Well, I'm really sorry if we've ruined your career, Matt. So,
yeah, you say this is not live, right?
Oh, mate. So other than the scrambled egg and peanut butter, what was the match day guilty pleasure? Like, what was the one thing you could secretly have before a game, other than the
before a game? No, not really anything. I was I genuinely was pretty tight with my food, and I was pretty good. I'd enjoy myself after the game, but before I was pretty good. I would have that. That would be it. That's all I'd be. That's all I'd eat. I didn't like being full before a game. A lot of players didn't eat, and like some people eat like chicken and pasta in the morning. I couldn't think of anything worse. I would. That's all I would eat. And like some days you'd feel hungry and others, but I would be like, no, I've got to have the same, because I know that's my happy place where I know I can run. I'm not going to feel sick. So that was it. I would one piece of toast, peanut butter, scrambled egg, and then if I had to, then I'd probably have a little yogurt. But nothing much.
Nice.
Sorry, that was boring, wasn't it?
No.
I mean, we've had such a good time.
I used to have pizza and sweets and.
like a really like out there story. Like, yeah, we're all just chucking Haribos at each other, and Mick McCarthy was there with Jaeger, and just pouring it around, and then we go out. It's fun.
I mean, there was sweets in the change rooms all the time, so I used to have a couple of them. Jelly beans normally would be in the change room. I used to like a jelly bean, but I used to have like a lot of people used to have like the proper Red Bulls or even like the coughing stuff. But I had my own little potion that I got it when I was at Wolves. Like Tony Daly he got it for me, and it's like you had to test it in training because it will give you like tingles and make you all go funny. And I had to test it out because it was like just like one big massive caffeine burst. And I think there was probably me or maybe 2 players that have it, but that was it really. And I don't think it had much effect with me anymore. I think I've had too much of it, and now like nothing really affects me. I even genuinely, this was a couple of years ago, I did that, like the Zoe project thing to test everything, and then I had to like because I'm quite into knowing what everything does, and you had to like try all different food to see if your spike went up, your glucose levels went up. So I was having like bags of Haribo, I had things of chocolate. I would be having like red wine, white wine. I would be having like all sorts of different things to see, and mine just stayed like that the whole way through the whole experiment.
Wow.
Nothing moved.
Did
I stayed.
you
You've got like a green. You had a grown zone. Yeah, yeah. It was actually on my dog. No, there's a green like threshold where you should be, and I was having all of this, and it stayed within the threshold the whole time. So I was like, wow, that's quite good news. That means I can have a whole bag Haribo and I'm fine.
It was working, right?
Yeah. It was, yeah. It was good. It was good.
Excellent. Right. Well, I say we've taken up so much of your time, Matt. But before we go, there's 2 important games that are happening this weekend, and that is the North London derby, which is Arsenal v Tottenham, and West Ham and Bournemouth. So please give us your predictions as to what you think the results are going to be.
Head or heart? Right. Let's go. I'll start with the Bournemouth West Ham. I think West Ham have had such a good last 2 games. The momentum's up. Nuno's been in. I know it's international break, but there's lots of players still there. So I think it's going to be a positive go. I don't think it's going to be a win. I think it'll be a draw. And to be honest, I think a draw is a really good result. So I will say 1-1 because I don't think West Ham will keep a clean sheet. So 1-1.
Well, Paquetá's suspended as well, isn't he? So it'd be hard to see who replaces him in that fold, really.
Yeah. So I'll go 1-0, and then the other one, I mean, it's going to be an Arsenal win, unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever you want to look at it. Arsenal win, and I don't see Spurs scoring either. So I think it'll be either 1 or 2-0. I'm going to go 2-0.
Even with Big Gabs out.
Yeah, I think so. This is where you show next week, and it's 2-0 Spurs and 4-0 West Ham, and I'm like, but that's what I think. Fantasy football's not going well for me at the minute, though, unfortunately.
To be fair, it's not going well for any of us, mate. And we've got a segment where we ask ChatGPT to pick a team, and that's bottom. So we can't predict. The supercomputer is pretty much like a Windows 95 at the minute. So yeah, that's not doing great at all. I think West Ham might nick a win. I think because they're on that road of back-to-back wins, and it's quite positive now. And I think Semenyo's out as well, so I think that's a big miss for Bournemouth this weekend.
Big blow, yeah.
Incredible.
And the Arsenal game, I think 1-0 to the Arsenal will be the famous phrase this season. Boys, what do you think this weekend?
Well, I mean, I've heard rumours that Jesus could rise this weekend, which I think would be a really good boost of morale, because he is a wonderful footballer, and I don't know an Arsenal fan that doesn't want Jesus to do well. Like there's so many Arsenal fans who are still so fond of what he did before that first injury, where we were just absolutely running away with things in the early part of the in the early part of the season. I think there'll be a few players who do return. I think Gyökeres is probably going to be back by then, and it looks like Havertz might make the bench. And I think in terms of the squad depth, I think Arsenal will be better off. I am a little bit worried about Big Gabs not being there because he is so important, not just for what he can offer the team in terms of the goals and the defensive clean sheets, but then just also his personality. And I think Mosquera is a great footballer. Arteta and Thomas Frank, he's worried.
He's worried.
Yeah.
Anya.
I am worried, yeah. I think we'll win. I think it'll be 2-1. I think because I just don't see Thomas Frank has got a good record against Arteta. So I think it'll be 2-1. And then I think Bournemouth will have too much and I think they'll win 1-0. Because I'm aware of the Semenyo thing, but I think West Ham are better under Nuno. So I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be. Do you know what I think it'll be? I think it'll be a sucker punch. I think West Ham will be good and will switch off. That's what I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna be really nice, but I think West Ham going to win 2-1. I just got a funny feeling. I think they're going to. I think, as Matt says, I think they're on a high. They've had basically 2 weeks with the squad now, hasn't he? Where he can really embed, and a lot of players have stayed at home. So I think that was his opportunity to really get the boys together, and I think that bonding time, that understanding is going to be there now, or at least be better. So I think him coming into the club is a morale boost, and I think his philosophy will suit West Ham long term. Obviously, I think once they get a window in as well. But I think you'll win 2-1, and I think you'll nick it like 94th minute, something stupid like you'll nick the winning goal. And I think with Arsenal, I am worried. The same. It's a derby in it, and let's be honest, form and everything else goes out the window. It's who's got the biggest art on the day and who can handle the nerves. Ultimately, in it, my brain is saying that as Adam just said, it's going to be a 1-0 win to Arsenal. Yeah, or maybe a draw. My heart,
or maybe a loss, Cal. Might as well cover all bases.
My heart is saying 3-0 Arsenal.
5 might as well be 5, Cal. Might as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say 5, but I thought we got a pro on the thing. I can't be mugged off completely, can I?
Gyökeres hat-trick. Jason's moved off the bench. He's assisted by Havertz.
He's a transition pro now, Cal. We've established this in this podcast.
Yeah, once a pro, always a pro, mate. Once a pro, always a pro.
Excellent. Well, I think we've taken up so much of your time, Matty. I really appreciate you coming on and helping our very small podcast. But I say you're more than welcome to come on whenever you like and share more dad life stories whenever you want, mate.
Well, I want to hear the updates next week when you've all had your peanut butter and scrambled eggs. So
yeah, we'll send the memo.
Perfect.
Anyway, guys, everyone, thank you for joining. Thanks again for Matty. Matty, could you just share your Twitter handles and your TikToks?
Yeah, so socials are Mr. Matt Jarvis on X, and then it's Matt_Jarvis_official on everything else.
Yeah.
Oh. Right then, guys. So don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel on X and on YouTube. And there's only one thing left to say. And thank you very much for joining. And see you on the next time. Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Matt.
Cheers.
Hola, and we cheer, and we spill a bit of beer. Raise a glass to the past and the mates who ain't here. From Highbury to Upton Park, it's now Ashburton and Stratford for a lark. It's the Old Dads Our Job podcast, the heart of the game.